Welcome back. You're watching DD India, and time now to get to our top story and talk about it as well with our special guest. We're talking about the latest where the US-Iran conflict is concerned, where there are indications that a lot of progress has been made as far as a peace deal is concerned, and yet a deal is imminent or not, that's something that's still up in the air depending on who you listen to. We are anywhere very close to a deal or not there yet. So, Ravi Joshi is with us, visiting fellow at the Observer Research Foundation. Ravi, what do you make of how different statements are emerging from different sources? Donald Trump says one thing, Marco Rubio says another, the Iranians say quite another.
Yes, Gautam, you have summed it up very well. We are never sure as long as Trump is in charge of the peace deal. He says, I might sign the peace deal tomorrow, I might not sign it, I might bomb Iran tomorrow, I might not bomb it. So the man is extremely maverick. He's extremely given to mood swings. And God knows how Marco Rubio can interpret him or J.D. Vance can speak for him. It's a very uncertain, unreliable situation. I would rather go by what the Iranians are. The Iranians are saying that there has been quite a significant progress on the 14-point plan, which they have been discussing for quite some time. Okay, so the peace deal may be at hand. It may be signed today, tomorrow, anytime. Okay. Now, but you must understand, Marco Rubio made a very interesting point here in Delhi for leaving. He said there's a lot of support from the Gulf partner. Actually, what he meant is that there's a lot of pressure from the Gulf partner. It's not merely a question of support. The Gulf partners are sick and tired of this war. They don't want this uncertainty. They don't want their countries to be the area of battle, So they're putting pressure on Trump to finish this war and come to a peace deal. But Trump is hemmed in by Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel, who does not want a peace deal. So Trump is playing this double game because of that. There is Netanyahu on one side, and there is Mohammed bin Salman and the UAE and the Qataris, all of them who are extremely close to Trump and Trump family. And they have greatly financed his project, his cryptocurrency and all those things. So he is indebted to them also. So he cannot completely sideline those people. And there's pressure from them to end this war. And also there's global pressure to end the blockade of Strait of Hormuz. So that's the most important. So now what Marco Rubio and Trump White House said is that there's a 60-day ceasefire extension, first point. Second point is there's likelihood of immediate lifting of the blockade of Strait of Hormuz, and then the nuclear deal will be discussed later on.
Yeah.
Or that is the picture we have got. Okay. And Gautam, there's a very interesting article I just saw from Economic Times, which says that there have been backdoor negotiations have been going on between Steve Witkoff and some Iranian interlocutors, which are revealing some totally unexpected scenario. Like US is willing to put $20 to $30 billion in rebuilding the nuclear facilities of Iran, or they will ask a Gulf kingdom to rebuild the Fordo plant. The Fordo plant is the most important plant for Iran, which was manufacturing the nuclear weapons, according to Israel. And that was the one which was bombed out of hell. It was obliterated, according to President Trump. Now, why on earth would America rebuild that? Or why on earth would America pay $30 billion to some Gulf kingdom to rebuild that? Now, this is what's happening according to Economic Times. Now, this is very strange news. But that is extremely welcome news to Iran. Iran has been asking for reparation. Iran has been asking for rebuilding the war damaged area. So I'm sure Iran might have put pressure on America to do this. And also they are saying that $6 billion of Iranian frozen are released.
Right.
So this is what's going on on the back door.
Okay. But in terms of how the markets are reacting, oil is down, stock markets are up, which happens every time that Donald Trump says something positive about reaching some kind of resolution where Iran is concerned. But do you think that this might be an move which might be justified this time around?
No, I would put it the other way around. Whenever the oil market heats up, Trump makes a statement like this, showing the carrot, that, okay, now here is the peace deal. We are about to sign the peace deal. And then the oil market cools down. Okay, the prices come down. So that is what's been happening in the past. And also there is another devious game plan which is going on that people are betting behind the scenes. That Trump will say this and the oil market will rise so much, and there are people who are betting on futures. And all kinds of games are going on in America.
And at the same time, the Iranians are saying that the Strait of Hormuz will be open for everyone, but they will not charge a toll, but they'll charge a navigational fee, which cannot be considered to be a toll. So, do you think that this would be something that Donald Trump will be able to live with?
No, that is not going to fly. That is not. That is against all UN rules and regulations on the freedom of navigation of the high seas, and no country can actually block or choke its entry point or access point, and no country can either levy a fee or a toll. This will not be accepted by the world. I mean, this will not be acceptable even to the White House. So that Iran actually has to be off. I think it's only a bargaining point. I don't think Iran can be very serious on that. Iranians know that, and that is, in fact, it is because of that America blockaded the entire Strait of Hormuz. So the American blockade was to prevent even the Iranian ships going or the Chinese ships from going. So that is exactly what is going to be lifted. So there will be complete freedom of navigation for all the world's shipping containers. Shipping lines. So I don't think again there will be any toll.
Okay. Even if that Iranian insistence on levying navigation fees, as you say, might be a bargaining chip, still the kind of framework that's being worked out, do you think it's better than the JCPOA, which was done at the time of Barack Obama? Because that will be the parameter with which this deal will be measured. And if it falls short, then Donald Trump will lose face in a major way, not just around the world, at home as well, with the midterms coming around. And we don't know whether the oil prices will cool by the midterms either.
Actually, that's an excellent question. Yeah, that's an excellent question, Gautam. This is a point where every senator in America is going to measure, particularly the Republicans and the Democrats. They will say that what is the great thing that you have achieved that Obama did not achieve? In fact, Obama's JCPOA was a comprehensive nuclear treaty which was co-signed by P5 countries of the UN Security Council. There was not only US, there was China, Russia, France, Germany, France, UK, and Germany and EU. There was P5 plus 2. So it was guaranteed by the world body. So that was a very different kind of treaty. Whereas what Trump is working out is a conflict resolution mechanism. He is just doing some kind of a temporary band-aid business. He started the war. He started the war with a mission objective of changing the regime, which has not happened. He killed some people. He killed our top leader. He killed 40 generals. But the regime has not changed. The regime of theocracy, the regime of mullahs or the maulanas who are ruling Iran has not changed one bit. And there is no great freedom for the people of Iran. The people of Iran did not revolt at the call given by Trump. And the Kurds, all that has not happened.
And so another X factor is Israel, because Israel says that come what way, we'll retain our right to defend ourselves, and well, they're clearly not part of this deal either. So what Israel does is something perhaps which Donald Trump might think that he can control, but you never know.
Gautam, I would not go to the extent of saying Israel is not a part of it. That America will make sure that Israel is a part of it. Israel cannot go on bombing Iran just the way it has done in the past. It can go on bombing Lebanon.
For now, it's not part of the process at all.
Yes, you are right in a way, because basically it is Trump and Marco Rubio and Steve Witkoff and Trump's son-in-law who are negotiating. There is not a single Israeli representative in the talks. But Trump should be able to put pressure on Israel so that they stick to the ceasefire. And Remember one thing there. Israel has stuck to the ceasefire so far. Okay. So even if Israel is not a part of the negotiation, it has stuck to the ceasefire as far as Iran is concerned. It is bombing Lebanon. It is that's a different matter. So
Okay.
Israel will be controlled by the White House. And though I'm sure Israel is very unhappy with this agreement.
Okay, let's hope that things keep moving in the positive direction. That has, of course, been mentioned by Donald Trump, although he says let's not do anything in a hurry. And the only confirmation of that has come from Iran, saying that yes, progress has been made on quite a few points, almost all points, but we can't say that a deal is imminent. Let's leave it there for the moment and see what works out. Ravi Joshi, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you, Gautam. Thank you.